Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Arthur. So, Arthur, if you want to go ahead and tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
I live in Dallas, Texas, and I'm a real estate broker, and we do development and brokerage for really our main clients are high net worth individuals, and we're kind of like their third party real estate department that does all the work for them. So our typical client is somebody like a physician or an attorney or somebody like that we do all their real estate. So meaning we do their office space, we also do their homes, and we also do their investments.
Awesome. So, how did you get your job?
I don't know. I don't really call it a job. It's more of a just something I started working on, started doing, and then more and more people needed the use of my services, and so they kept asking me for help in that regard, and I just kind of found a niche and something that not a lot of people do. A lot of people either focus solely on commercial or solely on residential, and what we do is more look at their portfolio and kind of help them on everything that the person needs. So it's kind of like having a third-party real estate department, which most big companies will have, but it's very difficult to afford one. And most investors, most high net worth individuals really need somebody like that on their payroll. But because the way we do our make our money on fees, they don't have to pay us a payroll. We just kind of work with them on order.
What was your biggest challenge in starting this business?
It's kind of the marketing probably is the biggest challenge, is letting more and more people out there kind of know what you specialize in and what you do. When you tell somebody you're a real estate broker, the assumption is automatically that you go and sell houses, and or you tell them you're a commercial real estate broker, then they think you do commercial properties. But it's an education process to kind of let them know that we're the experts at both, and we do everything. We can go anywhere from ground up to and building products for them in regards to homes or offices, and we can evaluate other projects for them also that are already built and they're making money or not making money. Or if it's a personal home, we can evaluate what those properties are worth and help them make the right decisions on those.
So how you take these decisions? Like, do you have a thought process behind this? There is someone like you are doing all these things. You have a team. Like, how
We
you
have a
take these
team.
decisions?
Yes, we have a team. I have about 4 people on my team. I have a personal assistant that handles a lot of the scheduling and the relaying of tasks, and also she knows who works on what parts. And so I have one person that's really focused on office. I have one person that's really focused on rentals. I have one person that's really focused on the residential and investment. And so we kind of divert, and it's impossible to do it all yourself. So it definitely requires a team effort to go do it.
Yeah, it looks a hectic thing. Like there are a lot of things involved in it. So are you doing interior designing as well? Like if someone is, because you said you're doing everything. So are
Yeah,
you doing
I personally love it, like interior design. I
uh,
do a little bit for myself, and I'm not that good at it, so no. I'm not, I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I get lots of tips from friends of mine, and what some of my friends are better at interior design than I am. But no, I unless I'm an absolute expert at it, I don't try to add that as so we do have interior designers that we work with that we can reference to people, but I'm kind of spoiled in the manner that I get to go and see some of the most amazing homes and properties that they're out there, which is a which is great. And at the same time, it's kind of like it's a con as well, because once you see what's really, really nice, you don't want to accept anything that's less. And so when you're doing stuff for yourself, it's kind of difficult to decide, and stay within budget on interior design after you've seen so many wonderful things.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. That's a difficult part.
Yep.
So, how technology is performing its role in your business?
So, as far as the technology is, I made a decision years ago to go paperless. So we're completely paperless. We don't have any documents we print. I don't own a printer, and then the office doesn't even have a printer. So we do everything on iPads, MacBooks, iPhones, those type of devices. And occasionally, you want to be able to mark up a document old school with a pen and a paper, and we just use the iPad and the Apple Pen to draw on those documents that we can send to our creative, like our marketing company that we're working with right now. They produce newsletters for us or whatnot, and they'll send them to us, and it's much more easier for me. I'm more a visual person. It's easier for me to just mark up a document than to try to describe what I want and how I want it changed. And so I rely a lot on that to progress it. We also have the CRM system for our clients that we keep, kind of keeps us on task, also lets us know what we do day in, day out, keeping the calendar, and making notes on each client and each project of what is important and the next steps, so that we never leave a client without a task. Without a task, even at the end of a deal that we close, we still have another task that we put on there. So every client of ours has a task attached to the CRM, and it may not be a task that has to be done today or tomorrow, but maybe 3 months down the road. But there's no clients that are taskless in our database.
This is amazing. This is cool. Being that much paperless, this is really cool. So, what do you recommend? What are your 3 must-have technologies when you are going towards a paperless environment?
Well, you need to have access to a hotspot. Hotspot is super important. I like to work from the beach or from the pool. From the type of places that aren't the most easy to get a Wi-Fi or something like this. So typically we're in the office. I would say 99% of the time we're in the office, but occasionally we get out and I need to have access. And having a phone that has a hotspot available, that's huge. For instance, yesterday I was at an open house for a client of ours, and while people were kind of going through the home, I was able to do certain tasks that we needed to get done, being connected, and that was the huge help. Another 2 technologies that are really helpful, I guess, are mainly software, is going to be the CRM system. We've not been historically super good at keeping it, but the past few months we've been really, really good at it, and it's in the efforts show. The other thing is to automate some of the tasks. So when we get a listing, what happens next, where you get the certain agreements, and what happens with those agreements, and then automating the ordering of photographers to go take pictures of the property, and then automating somebody to write up a description of the property and to measure the property, and then put that all into the multiple listing systems, and having a lot of those processes automated or made more efficient has proven to be a really good technology for us as well.
Amazing. So, if you are using technology at this extent, are you getting help from AI and AR, like artificial intelligence and augmented reality?
So AR, not really. We've kind of played with it a little bit, and kind of there's when you're doing interior design, I guess AR could be really helpful. I haven't figured out a way that AR is really helpful for us on the selling of
Yeah.
properties front. Maybe, if you would create visuals of developments before they come out, that could be kind of cool. But it would be a very high, probably very expensive, and probably it'll take a lot of time rather than what's just readily available currently. If it was fast and cheap, it would be probably used more often. And then AI, we've played with it quite a bit and we use it a little bit, but as much as everybody's like enamored with the AI and what it can do, as an expert in the field, it's real. It's not very good at at certain specifics. Like it may tell you something that maybe I'm not an expert at, and like something about cooking, and I would look at it and I would think, oh wow, this is incredible. But if it was a 5-star chef looking at it, they would say, you know what, this is really amateur and not really professional. So the same thing, like we even used it a couple of times to try to make descriptions of properties that would we'd put on Zillow or Redfin, or that would sell, and the descriptions that come out are just really, really amateur and not of the highest level of quality that we've been with. It's a good place to start. We like using it and maybe occasionally as a good place to start, especially if we're writing about something that has to do with real estate. It's a good place to like, give me the 5 points of what most people are interested in hearing about wood floors. And so I'll list a couple of points and it gives me a good start where I can kind of go on and write my own stuff. But exclusively leaning on AI, it's just, as much as everybody believes it's awesome and that's what everybody's going to do, it's quite not there yet on an expertise level.
So in terms of real estate and getting in front of the right people, like what have you done that has stood out? You mentioned kind of niching down, but just in general, like even like in the early days, like how were you able to get in front of like the right people to really grow and scale your business?
You have to be really, really good at networking. You have to be not shy as to going up to people, introducing yourself and telling them, what you do or how you can help them. That has never been an issue for me. I kind of look at people all as I don't look at people as strangers. I kind of look at people as friends I haven't met yet. And I'm aggressive about it into the extent where I want to work with certain people. I'm going to go after it, and sometimes they'll ask me, why do you want to work with me? I go, well, because I want everybody to know that I'm your real estate agent, so they'll get more clients because of who you are or what you were, so having a good network, going to the right places, doing the right things that are centric to grow the type of clientele that you want, and also surrounding yourself with those kind of people. If you want to be a millionaire, you can't surround yourself with folks that work at McDonald's or Jack in the Box or whatever. You gotta step it up and get in the right mind and likeness and methods and activities that those people do.
So in terms of networking, I guess like what specific activities did you do early on? Were you going to like networking events? Like how were you getting in front of those people like when you first started?
So you go to like, you look at the groups of people that I work with are what I call the want groups and not the need groups. So if you need a house, you can go buy a house for $200,000 or $300,000 and you're in it. The houses that I'm selling are 2 million, 5 million, 30 million. Those are want houses, right? So what else do those people want? Those people want nice things like nice jewelries, nice cars, nice watches, art. There's certain pillars that the want groups surround themselves with, and that may be through philanthropy, that may be professional sports. It could be a number of things, high level sporting, certain type of sports also, like, you'll meet more high level people playing tennis than baseball, or golf rather than whatever else, right? So you go to the events. If there's like Rolls-Royce may have a new car that's coming out and they're going to have a show, so you sign yourself up to be on their guest list, so that when you show up there, that's also people that are over there that are buying, have the capability of buying those cars, or the Rolex shop or whatever else. And you go to those events where those people are, and you start, introducing yourself and meeting those people.
Awesome.
restaurants, events, that kind of deal, sporting games, all that deal.
Awesome. So do you only sell homes in Dallas?
No, we do Miami as well. We're in DFW Metroplex right now. This morning actually started working with a client that's a Netflix celebrity. They had said they were on one of the Netflix shows. They're one of these reality stars, and they want to buy a place up in McKinney and Frisco, and so that's what I'm helping them with starting today.
So in terms of finding the right homes, like what do you look for specifically in terms of like making sure that, when you're all said and done, that your clients are satisfied with the home that you help them find?
Well, I mean, it really depends on the programming of what they're looking for. You have to really listen to your client. A lot of times the people searching for homes think they know what they want, but they really don't. So some people come in, they're like, "Oh, we want something super industrial. It's cool." And they want to live like Batman in a warehouse or all that kind of, that kind of style. And the idea that they have in their mind is, it's going to be really nice and great and everything. And then you start explaining to them that, these old buildings, like we've sold one house, it was 10,000 square feet in the middle of an industrial park that the guy converted into a home. Industrial parks have thin windows. It's not very energy efficient. There's not as much insulation. The amount of work done to remodel the place is tremendous. Then you step outside and it's not, there's not a lot of people there during home hours, right? Because you're in the middle of a industrial park. Then during the hours of the day, if you're at home, you hear all the noise from the manufacturing and from all that kind of stuff. And so, you explain that to somebody, and then they're like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe that's not exactly for us. So maybe we want something that's a little bit more modern and an industrial feel, but something more of a home." And so we move people into that, or put somebody that conversely they want something super modern, and you explain to them, what really goes into what the idea behind modern design is, and then they scale it back to maybe more transitional than a full on modern. People think that each type of home, traditional, transitional, modern, is just move in and ready. And a lot of times in their head, they have an idea of what their lifestyle is going to be like. And it's a lot different than what reality is.
Yeah. So, is there something you wouldn't have done differently?
Done differently?
Yes.
I kind of like where I'm at. I mean, I think that there's no such thing as mistakes or doing things that are bad. I think that every step of the way of your journey is important, and the mistakes are just different nomenclatures, and say instead of mistakes, they're just lessons, and that lesson is just what gets you to the next point of where your passion is going to be.
Yeah, if that's the case, then there must be something crazy as you have done for your business.
There must be something crazy. Sorry,
Something craziest, yeah.
that's the craziest thing I've done for my business.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. At some point, you do everything crazy, and nothing seems crazy anymore, right?
Yeah.
If that's the baseline. I know we try to think outside of the box. We do a lot of stuff. I mean, I had a celebrity client one time that we offered a dinner with him, and it was kind of unexpected, and it was being recorded while it was live, and so that kind of threw out there, and it was kind of funny. I've offered cars to go along with certain houses. They kind of look like they should go with them. I mean, I don't know what you guys consider crazy. We do a number of different things. Some of the crazy are pretty unspeakable of what we do on a
That's okay. For me, I think the craziest thing you have done till now is going paperless. Like there will be very few businesses who are going paperless, who are in fact right now they are paperless. So that's the most difficult thing, and you have achieved this. Congratulations for it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't I don't remember the last time we've bought a piece of paper or even carried a piece of paper. Even for our clients, like I know some people bring folders with what they're going to go look at on the properties, everything. We don't do any of that. Everything is digital. It's just much more efficient, and then you don't have so much trash, and it's You're not looking for documents all the time. You have everything on the phone, and just using the app, those capabilities, it makes a huge difference in knowing that you have more firepower in your phone than you ever had in your office.
So what are the top priorities for your business in the next 3 to 6 months?
Marketing. The market is definitely changing, and so there's a lot less transactions happening. So in order to facilitate the same type of income that we've been used to, we need to generate more clients to work with. Whereas, one client, over the past 3 years can spend, let's say 3 to 5 million. Now they're spending $1 million. So we need to find 3 more clients to make up for that disparity that we've had in the past.
So what is the one biggest piece of advice that you would have told yourself that you know now that when you first started?
I mean, it's the same advice that I tell everybody is just keep active and keep being motivated, and don't be lazy and do nothing. When you're lazy and doing nothing and just out of focus, you're wasting really the only resource that you have, which is time. You think that you have all the time in the world, and we still struggle with that all the time. You want to, you're working all day, you're on the phone, and then you want to go and Google up, something, a new car, or, a piece of furniture, or some new treats for your dog, or whatever it is. And it's fine to go do that, but to do that on a separate set of time than the time that's allotted for you during the day, during business, to where you can reach people to do business and to monetize. You're not going to monetize, looking for, snacks for your dog or the next vet or anything like that. You need to use the time that's allotted during the regular business hours to hunt for business.
So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you expect things to go for your business?
I mean, I hope that we grow our team a lot bigger. I hope that we're going to have a lot more business in the Miami office that we're currently growing to, and that's it. We just want to grow and doing the same thing we're doing, but grow into a much bigger team where I'll have more managers and more agents under me that are doing more transactions.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you or your business, how can they find you and reach out to you?
But we're everywhere. We're even on TMZ. The best way is to call us or to email us. And I don't know if you want me to mention that.
Sure, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So it's Arthur Greenstein, and then the phone number is 214-607-3988. We also have an Instagram, which is the Arthur_Greenstein. And we also have another Instagram for the company. That's my direct Instagram, but the company's Instagram is Arthur Greenstein Group. And if you Google just my name, you'll see we have a ton of press and a ton of articles that are written. I actually write for D Magazine for their real estate section for DCEO. And so there's a number of, it's easy to get a hold of us. Or you can email Arthur@arthurgreenstein.com.
Well, Arthur, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we can chat again in 1 year from now as you continue to grow and scale your business.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.